Dumelang, rena re kgathetse ke go phamolwa ne? Ke anything e ka phamolang. Re phamolwa ke phamokate, re phamolwa ke gender-based violence, re phamolwa ke banna ba re sa ditseneng taba tsa go jola le bona, re phamolwa ke bomme ba sa re taking care, re phamolwa ke bo sisters ba sa re taking care, re phamolwa ke re hae ba ne ka phamolwa jaaka hurricane phamola koloi mo strateng ra phamola. And then I'm like, I just buy skele msa go phamola. Ga go tsa wana nje mo lifeng. Nya hle. Tlhaloganya, that thing is not happening. I am not going to just get mina phamola. Ngiyothathwa nje. Ngiyothathwa. Enyenye nenye into la emgaqweni efuna ukungithatha kaze ziningi kanjani futhi nalezi zinto zakhona. Lavaya, kawufela lona. Kawufela. To the flames, you are literally going to the flames of hell. You are presently applying, like as with a job interview, to become my ancestors, and yet look at your present moral turpitude. We understand you feel sad and you want to live the legacy on and feel in that is that basic. They are gone, they're dead. They either were born again or not, and if they were not born again, so some of your ancestors that you worship, Bako Hades, but what have I right? Laba worship, and in and of yourselves with this kind of moral turpitude, you are literally interviewing for ancestry one day. Some of your interview is about to be so successful because la hlanya, liditweba, la lematsa, so modimo o le bolai. So in 2 months' time, o tla be so le ancestor obuti. O tla be so le ancestor sister's girl. Mara, you will have been applying to be your ancestor ya teng bophelo ba hao kaofela. Mara the way o no loya ka teng o le kotsi girl. The way o no tletse ka ho fofora batho ka teng girl. Obuti the way o no tletse ka korobela ka teng o robetse ke le basadi ba foko officing ka yona korobela boy. O he batho o modlwengule. Ho basic. Ha bana o tlotsa ba chicken kankane o modlwengule. All right? Let's just put that out there. Mara dlozi teng. You qualify just by mere virtue of being a black person. Le compita. Nka le dintswa la nkutla. Le lwantshana nka le dikolobe la nkutla. Le tsaela be kamoso bana le tsaela na like di career memereko le tsaela na di beboko le khosa batho re ba hlanye he batho le ntirengisa batho ka ditlhare la initiator le tsaya bo mamlambo cause ni twele ha batho go hampe le kukile ditikoloshi mara wena ano tshwantse batho ba go lo rapella one day kwamele wena uyothandazelwa uyothandazwa too rather ngoba ngishuzenza uGod you deistic randos you bantu abamnyama mina ngikhathele yini safa saphela isizwe semnyama ngempela dala saboda kodwa ngifuna ukuyoresurrecta umuntu makazama ngegospel nikhulunyongo nithi ungazongitshela mina about white man's religion I know yazini it's alright in my life like papa we're thinking it's so good in the head khele batla solution again. It's okay, nna ke tla tsamaya ka God bo me nice. Modimo wa ka wa ba goa, ke tla monka nna modimo wa ka o leng busy ka magwa fela a khositseng Africa kaofela e lo ba colonized. Ko motsaya because at the end of the day o phaphame a kere from the grave in a way that your ancestors didn't. Top of that, ke na o protectileng from tsaba or Jack the Ripper o mpatla ka nkane by fire by force. Banna ba tletseng ka korobela bang tumpang ka di something tsa Baba Tangong Jesa, keep me as a puppet on a string. Bakahilin di Karkanji Dumba Likokos Bastin Shihara Havaturmaki Peregel. Baba Tangong Besha Rankani, Bankpeko passenger city bands driver around Johannesburg Fella, mobile by Bankens or keep more relationshiping and just merely exist as a woman. Unprotected from all that. The very same Jesus always has buying Skelem Salena, Sayana, because apparently allegedly all Tokamezama and not us. Because unprotected from, like I said, the Jack roller, Nahamu, South Africa, Patlangan by fire by force. No, Syrian America, Lena Umvikete from here. Yet the same God, peeling spiritual gift to get up on every last thing, a Pamula Momostrating, or Nagascato Pamula, Pamuka, Pamula, Kimona, or Hakatahum Pazetre, Abatli Morgan, Nagresha Bomu, Fileniona. Nako pamulage monotong pamulanga klapa kampama nako pamulage monotong pamulang ka gender based violence ka 6 feet under ka casket ka cadavera ka autopsy ka crematorium vibes na monna o tlong pamulanga selepe or monotong pamulanga several admissions into sepetlele sa public no gale because na ga ke gone go lo afford medical aid modimo nna o mphamotse from le tsogo la D monster yona ntho eo e tlhorisang e tshosana seo That little tigolosh of a man, Mudimong phamotse matsogong a bona kaofela, without even a single one failing, one kutwa. Ha gona ke le monna o tee, not even o one, o nosi, that has ever prospered to get to me. Anza busy motho, grinding at the mill. Anza za malo tsa chere sa mo tshwaneleng. Mara nkane ya bona le ba fubatletseng ka forced ka teng. Just proves ukuthi Grandshap, a whole chunk of you women in South Africa le tsailwe, le phamotswe, because bana ba gabangali, they don't give up. They don't give up. Ke ntshekelelang. Batla go nkela family kaofela ba nkutla. Abantu bagini bazokujikela ngoba le ndoda le yakufuna ngenkani. Uzojikela ngabangani. Uzojikela ebathong if at all it can turn against you. Itlo go jikela sister girl. Bana ba go costa mosadi affiliation. Ke re ga gona ke re thominyana A1 that got your back. Ga gona ke le nnoteng o go godisitse o go change le di diaper. Maleri a imelang antsa a change le ke ntatwa teng. Le ntatwa teng will literally jiggle you because o busy o favor sweba ya narcissist evimbe yonke family yakho ngemithi we okaze sizoyenza boma what now. Re tlo irang rona re lwela di family tsa rona re lo jona le bana ba re sa ba batleng. Another how kotsing on that day. Ole mo hara relationship lenyalong le feletseng kaofela kilili ba ya chata namhlanje, but like the man uvimbe ngithi umndeni wakho wonke, wanti umalume ugogo no grandfather no mama no baba abo sisters your siblings ba save monna o tlo go tumpang ka selepe, monna o tlo go tshwarang pogo I was thinking in the ordinate favor like le ndoda lena e athandwa ngabantu bakini noma a bihisa ngempama. Just 2 weeks ago mothako o go utsweditse tšhelete ko bank accountong o irela EFT without your knowledge. O botsa mme wa hao re bathong monna ona o nkutsweditse madi. Ga ke na treda o kaofela e feletse cause D1 o entse a little bit of a transfer to himself. O embezzle di funds tsa Minaiza ga ke mo batla. No teng ba re no mara o itse keng tshepiso ke ngwana Minaiza. Tshepiso ke mokhonyana wa ka bathong mmeto o nkutlile gore kitseng. Tshepisonyana o wa gago o mo ratang high and low hureng ka re he can do nothing wrong. O nkutlile mme wena o nchangileng maliri. Did you hear? I just said he stole money from me. E be mo teng a re no mara kaofela ba batho ba na le diphoso. 3,000 rand kaofela ya ka e tsamaile. Ka re ka ntšhinyana ya out ena ha you disturb when. Nna ke shabane le ena ke ekotsi e nshebile it's pulsating. It's beating. Mo matlhong a gagwe. O nkutsutsa tšhelete ha e ka ta mo a batlo ngdripa ko mosebetsing. Hore ke latlhagelo ke mosebetsi hore na tlo tlhokomela ka 3,000 rand ya ka. And then ke mkhonyana wa hao. Basadi nya ya tlhebo girlsinas. Le mo nkengeng mara haleng rati bokeng. Haleng rati basically le mathata. You've got bones to pick with me and ga ke tlhaloganye your grandchild diswa wena. Di bones tsa lona. Ga ke tlhaloganye girl. Haleng pati le mo ke khatileng teng empa nna ke le zama ke tsholo ka re modimo wa ka o wa magoa. O mphulusitse from digebengu tse lenyetseng kankana. Sigebengu that you did not want to be with. Kimo Mutako, you walked down the aisle to him. Nyangeli busy bina Etta James. Yes, come along. You make it look good when you know it ain't. Out here justifying the filthy deeds of some random tricksters in these streets that made themselves your husband's kankane and then you make it look like it's good. Report anyoko. Ro deliver rona ba bang ba kgethileng Jesu Kriste. Ke a le ka ithutang history, do you understand? Teach yourselves the origins of the gospel. Teach yourselves the nature of God, his attributes, as they are described in the scriptures. That you might comprehend that the only mission that God is doing here in these streets is gathering for himself a people for his own possession. That's all that God is doing. And so, even if it's through vessels that are cracked, what is the word for it? Treasure in jars of clay. Human beings that are full of folly. Nonetheless, he has done no other thing but gather for himself a people for his own possession by making disciples of all nations. So whether or not the gospel came to you through Rome, whether the gospel came to you through France, whether the gospel came to you through what you call this Russia or Venezuela, that South America, whatever, whether the gospel came to you through the United Kingdom, irrelevant, because God uses treasure in jars of clay. Cracked up pots that don't make no sense out here be making happy feet and trotting on along to other continents to do the thing that God will have the human race do. They are flawed. So just because they flogged you and ripped your skin apart with a cat of nine tails, ransacked you with slavery, does not mean that the messenger ought be respected above, above the one who sends the message in the first place. God has gathered himself a people for his own possession through vessels that are disquieting in their indiscretion. So, to say what a little bit of Jesus Christ because first and foremost, he's a Jew, all the way from the Middle East, olive skin, learn history, and secondly, y'all need to comprehend if at all the Lord proliferates the gospel to you through your harsh slave master, you still gotta account to him in your own unique individual capacity why you rejected the gospel even though God showed himself to you as the one giving you the word. And not so much Karabo, or Peter, or Paul, or some Italian rando. Like, herein lies the deal. You don't get to reject your God, who has shown himself all over creation, based on your indiscretions, your nuances, your biases, or whatever. Especially when your God has shown himself as God in a way that is comprehensively covering, and the gods that you have rather chosen to worship have displayed themselves as untrue gods. They have displayed themselves as willing at a whim to steal, willing at a whim to kill, and willing at a whim to destroy. Nobody does that but Satan and your little ancestors. Because bali thusa hore le senye le bolaya le utswe la nkutla madlozi a lona a le thusa hore le etse mesebetsi ya satane. Father, liar from the beginning. I ke re le na le two face batho ba bantsho ga le tshepega akere. There is no one that does that well, better even than Satan. He masquerades as an angel of light. Le fitlile mo pela rena fana ka ditshego tsa lona, big yawning smiles like the Joker. Mara ko morao o tsentse thipa e nngwe ya mhlaba mora mokokotlo wa mngane wa gago. That's what's good. Satan ke yena o etsang ntho, not God. So jaka ga madlozi a lona a le thusa hore lo steba batho in the back, lo betray le busy ka bona ho baneng le worshipa Satan ha kana la dina ya hore ke Satan akere la dina ya hore ke diabolosi mo a fitileng teng. You're in denial, guys. Mara diabolosi ke yena o utswang, ke yena o senyang, ke yena o bolayang. Janong jaka khaletsa all those things, and then on top of it, let's maka, you are two-faced. Your houses are not upon the stone, the rock, but they are on the sand. And now lo tshepa jwang hore ga le tlhokofala lo ba badlosi o bodile ga kana gele another one ga o tloba modlozi wa go steal, killer and destroy, seeing as you were doing that on earth. Ga lo ba badlosi ntho tse bodileng di a lahlwa mo ara dustbin e eternal ke pikitape ya modimo eo. It's called Hlongwane ke di heleng le a teng. Ha ona engwe ntho e ka etsalang mo lefatsheng mona na other than to throw you di heleng guys in this. Because then you walked in ditshila. Ditshila ya lahlwa. Another way now you're gonna hold on to an apple core. O kata go inata weja. Even though spit it out its seeds. For eng. Into e blomile fela e gabisitse. Your pantry ko kitchening. Into e oxidize are turning brown in front of everybody. Are you gonna leave that apple core there, or are you gonna put it in the dustbin? Ntho e jelweng e feditsweng, and ntho e ditshila ya lahlwa. O ka se nne ntse o le busy wena o holdile on into pakete ya mazimba. E tlo blow manje fela gathering dust on your kitchen counter or go loungeng ya gago. O ka se tlo tlogela di-popcorn tsa weleng mo fatshe o sa di fiele, o sa di kenye mo ra dustpan and throw them in the dustbin. Ntho e ditshila ya lahliwa, even though initially e ne le ntle le skone letswetswe le le innocent. Mara modimo o tshelo ko lentswe la gaga gore there's no one who does good, no one, for all of sin and fallen short of the glory of God. Top of that, your hearts are deceitful above all things, human beings, and desperately wicked. I'm saved by grace. That's what's good. Yeah. So seeing as you become filthy somewhere along the way, and you don't want the substitution of the only person that was both human and God, did not sin and died for you, a substitutionary sacrifice was done for you. Seeing as mfuna la gande khona, because apparently uzela nomlungu wase Europe ambange namadlozi enu angena maitsewo. There were gangsters, there were mabanditi, your little gangstrosities, your little child molesting daddies that ransacked Lestata Sonke, that cheated on your mamas of which were little local witches. Abantu that indeed deserve ugyolahlwa emlilweni ngoba that's what you do with dirty things. Ntho tse ditshila di a lahlwa le ditshila. Hobaneng le sa bona go le ditshila? Just by mere virtue of the about feel like guilty hampe ha botlhoko. Your consciences are beating on you. It says ukuthi kunentsila that needs scrubbing that you are not attending to, girl. You're like a person that hasn't taken a shower in days. Bandla where you're not gonna walk into heaven and not have people there be like you're not gonna be let in. You're not gonna be let in. Nothing impure enters heaven, yo. So naive balona to continue ka the ancestors that it's healer, and then hope that one day in and of yourselves little the ancestors that it's healer, and somehow makes Jesus who's gonna accept you into heaven, having never even tried. Holoti kotla, hawa tapa, hawa zama lui kakola kirlhanyan, hawa pumulas fatla nothing, hawa like no stain azangwa suha kirle washing A1. Marobata kenang mahodimo. You let yourself roam around in sin, nje. Izono zenu, piling up to the skies. Dibeza lona, 20 million ka letsatsi. Di busy ntse di heap up the nostril of God like a nasty stench in a dustbin. There was a place called Gehenna in the Bible. That was a place that was full of burning, where people threw litter, like a waste site that constantly was burning, because that was the best way to dispose of the dirt. So Janong, seeing as Liditsila, Lilachetuko Mulong, why Lilla? Litlabelela, weeping and gnashing your teeth for all of eternity, regretting that you could tell in your consciences that this is not going to end well. This is not going to end well, Mara. Little guys, little girl. Bo sisters, little brother. Little pele ka nyoko. Ya batho ba bantsho le tshotse re motho o se ka ntse naka Jesu. Ha hona o mong, and no other name under heaven by which men must be saved. Ha hona o mong motho se kileng a phela without a single sin. O leng modimo as well, through kamo. Hi, other than God. Marli bizlunga le worship abo anti Boloi. Ba tlhokafetseng grandship thanks to a satanic ritual gone wrong. Mara ke mtsala ke ba mmitsang ke dlozi ya gago. KNC, sister girl KNC. Lo ena o bodile grandship budlantso korola di cherry ko officing. Mara you are vying to be an NC. In 2 weeks you're gonna pass away, your family are gonna worship you. Abantu bakini bazon worship. O Karabo ya ntela 99. Hallo ka hle. Ebe le motho ka ignore. Ka control alt delete. Yo, nyempela. Talent. Hey, just like artificial intelligence, it appears to me like you are reaching singularity, black people. Ke khathetse ke TikTok. Ntse busy in recommenda batho ba defeatist, ba tipolayang, ba tishutang mo futung. Ke grand ka lona mo life thing. Ke grand batho ba bantsho wa itse ke le busy ntse le enjoy mareu a satane, leading you to the flames of hell. Le sa batho go ti correct, le company na lang pata, lang kinya mara le ka sentse ke phela. Another mo life thing go baneng ke le ko hospicing, ke le healthy gakana. Ga ke na kankere, mara ke na le cousin ntse le busy batla go mfa cancer. That's what's good. Mara ke phela, and ke le cancer thing ya e batla go mphamola, mara ga eng phamole go bane ke na le mvikeli ka mala ke go Jesu Kriste an hlaloganye. That's the thing. I have a protector that is making sure that I don't get the cancer that my cousin is trying to curse me with. I have a protector that is ascertaining that angicapitulate mina to ijek roll izongithatha nje as umfazi ngingamfuni. Ndoda ngithi angikufuni kodwa Inhlupheko angifoster yona. Ungitshela ukuthi Karabo uzongithatha cause awuzokhona ukuyothenga noma ukuthengisa. You're not going to be able to rekisa di sigila muni on the side of the street. Ga o tlo gona gape le go reka makipkip. Bathong ba abutina jona ga ke galetse makipkip ke iketseng. Ha ke batla ice cream ya icenyana. Ha ke batla kota. Abuti is telling me, hey, o tla ja dust. O tla ja le role Karabo. Because mo life gana motho o tlo kgonang go reka kota unless nna ang shapa ka le roma. Yo, inkane ngaga mina ngizoyenzani? Ngiyakhala khalili ke khathetse nna di edit di heap up to the mountains because I can't to get to my work on time because of the level of spiritual abuse I'm enduring at the hands of abo fostoms, abo nkanoms. Amadoda ayelene nkani ne forced bangifuna ngempenge nkani. Mothape mo tlale ka re kantse o stinchi ha batla mosadi ra itshebeletse mara tshwantse nna ke lo montsaya nya junior vumanya ona yona go ikirela soso le Amanda Black ntse ke bina to a man that has not had it coming to deserve umfazi ozithobile to God. I am not going to humble myself to a man that does not love Jesus. I guess by Mononzali busy at the mixer, got the ancestors and the body letting the bandit, the bank robber, the cockafits, and Motatalo worshipper. It is no wonder Lena asked myself, just like those bank robber uncles as I can dollar, as the body that he now worships as Amadrosi. Nah, we are George. Nah, he's a little bit of a bandit. Nah, you busy and Tisha is standing back in the FNP. We are George Alomund, go to a milligo, go Uchayoba, Umyaniwam. Cancel about Manonizer, get grand demolizing, and about girl, get namalizing, little naha, listening at Karabo Musa because Ling Foster record Yana the bank robbers alone. Ling Foster born, Babi Tumpi about Pamoseka Pamoka, the mutating all who feel HIV, because all busy got the sex ritual and the occult, what's the orgy, after somebody's in the condom. How ka mo ebe le tlo tumpa nna ka dimpama le ntlape bo girl, because at least guys get themselves and make the one person that escapes that bullet. That's the thing. Hey? That's the thing. Psalm 91. 1,000 may fall on your side, 10,000 on your right hand, but it does not come near you. I am protected because I have worshipped one God. Your polytheism is literally slicing and dicing you like carrots on a chopping board. Ian Mosha, Ian Bulala. Your polytheistic view. I call into anything I worship you, but mami na Nike kimuhu mo life ekasmu khatets. Utlalang bogelne. Utlalang bogaizin is cause guys are even though I'm trying to reach abo chicken here. Listen, alright. Jaka ga le gapeleditswe ga botlhoko ga kana ke di tlhare tsa banna. How long do you think you are going to be safe in your cities, your countries? Jaka ga le gapeleditswe ga botlhoko ga kana ke banna ba thwetseng batho anare le tlo infecta South Africa ka fela ka ngolaza sebaka se sekakang monna ke yo tshwantse lo kwatela yena o go file ngolaza ke zinis because o busy tsa robala mo strateng le di satanic ritual tsa gagwe tse dintsintsi mo strateng ba tla fitla a tlo robala lona go jarateng another ho baneng le kwatetse Karabo with a clean bill of health when ntho e nna grandship importileng ke taba re I gave my life to Christ and then I became celibate and then I waited on God for husband o na tseba Jesu hore a ska tlong tlhotlhora nna ka ditlhare first and foremost and hore nna ska tlong tlhotlhora nna ka mamlambo mo godima rofu ya ntlo ya rona hore nna ska tlong tlhotlhora hape ka infidelity are just fraternizing with everything in these streets or skirt chasing rando gore gape a ska tlong tlhotlhora ka spiritual manipulation cause nna ke dila ke loya ke monna minaisa ke tlhokometswe ke Jesu to be protected from all such activity as that ebe le tlo kwatela nna instead of acknowledge hore nna ke kgethile right le tlo nne in your defeatism le ntse le ntematsa la nkutla le cause gore nne ke lo gabiswa mo strateng even though I ought to be more functional than ornamental where it is that I find myself purely because ba le tlhotlhorile lena ebe lela dikeledi le hobola jaaka dintsha ga the same type of brother a lo tsaya ngwana ha wa ngwanyana le duplicitous akere you have got double standards akere ha le tshepega ke le tsetsa backstabbing. So because you're duplicitous, double standards, that's what you do. You would not want the same fate that befell you to befall your daughters. And yet, peripherally, horizontally, your girls, I know, up for grabs. Bona, it's all systems go. The benches are make all systems go. This thing is going to be proliferated. Relay race, Olympicing. It's going to be proliferated. So you ignore me, you ignore your Gen Alpha child, your girl child. You bontate ba Gen Alpha, ne? Le bona ga ba batle bana ba bona ba banyana hore ba lo rabaswa ke banna ba tshwanang le bona mara Karabo's up for grabs. It's like other people's daughters are you can just take it. Other people's daughters it's okay. Mara ile bana ba bona baba overprotective, overzealous You see, a father can try and protect his daughter from a man like him. Mara ha ngwana ngwana a tsaile ke korobela a le dizzy ngwana batho a le mesmerized ke ditlhare tsa jabu ha ona ntho ntato a ka etsang. The only protection that your daughter got is somebody supernatural, spiritual that can block le mithi ya lensha from working on her. Kodwa anifuna ukufundisa abantwana benu uJesu ngoba nina anifuna ukuzifundisa Jesu self. You don't want to go to the only protector. You don't want to go to the only what is this? The only concealer. The only one ongakwazi sorry fihla from madoda bolile. The only one oka go patang. Do you know gore hona le banna bang passileng up la nkutla ba tswile kwa nna bang shapa ka peace sign because they thought they were cute. Bana no ba fashionable. Due to tabarone ke sna miracle. Just by mere virtue of me having no money, being kind of poverty stricken, I get ke sutlilwe ke tlhopego ke banna ba insistileng go ntsayela career. Never chicken. But at this point, they utilized indaba yokuthi mina namsebenzi against me. Ngazibwa ignore ngamadoda that would have shelled me in droves, sorry. Literally flying to me and carry a whole hive of bees when I was employed. Hane ke sebetsa ne ba mpatla high and low. Ke shelwa ke le motho wa di DMs bursting at the seams, pressed down, shaking together and running over. No end in sight to the number of men that were vying, standing, queuing in line to take my hand in marriage. Kodwa uSomandla wangifihla. God buried me in what you call my curse, my poverty, inhlupheko yam. Go tlhophega gwaka go nthusitse gore ke gore bana ba senang maitseo, ba senang morals, ba senang what is this like shallow wait again, empty, vacuous, hollow, ashy, Men with no real substance wanted nothing to do with me the moment I lost a job. I dodged a bullet from a dude that I thought was my husband. Simply because a case was raised up, trumped up against me at MTN, he caught wind of it in the rumor mill, and all of his flirting with me suddenly went ice cold. Yavele ya freeze, ya begwa inside dry ice, never to be resuscitated. I dodged the bullet. Usomandla can not only vikela your daughters from Korobela working at all if somebody has set their eyes on them, but he can also hide your daughters from men that naturally are just kind of fair weather. Abashelo, do you understand? Abatembeki. He is going to go out on you the moment you are no longer as attractive because your nose is this big because you're carrying a boy during a pregnancy. You've got stretch marks for days on your stomach. Your cellulite is starting to appear in parts where it never was. And so cause Lenja Lena is shallow. All of a sudden, a woman that looks like you prior to the pregnancy is going to be out here satisfying the needs of your husband. Amatodanjalo, Anyana ride or die, a single bone in their bodies of holding on to a woman from till death do us part, always enjoying the breasts of the wife of his youth. Amadoda, Anjalo, God uyazi ukufihla from them. Do you understand? Jesus Christ can hide your daughters and you from a man that would, if at all you were to literally have one hair fall out of place, if at all, or for one day you can't lay your edges right, Lenjalena is going to show you flames, a fair weather rando. God can hide you from him by simply putting you in poverty before you can go on a date with him. And that's what he did with me. Nga ignore and got passed up by guys that were queuing to be with me because of the fact that I lost a job. Something so basic as that. Amadoda, are they not supposed to be the ones to provide? Aren't they supposed to feel proud to have take care of umfazi makasutlehile? And yet, lamadoda were 21st century sham. Ugyo hlokomela a woman. Onyena what they call clout. Shame to him is like, you're gonna tank my statistics, you're gonna plunge my stats. Yeah, you sound like Cher from Clueless, the way they're so effeminate. Ngabo girl. God can protect you from an effeminate man that does not see his responsibility to take care of a woman through thick and thin. They don't make them the same no more, do you understand? Manje mina, njengoba ngivikelwe ngintlupheko yami, my very poverty has protected me. Lingzondela dabawre, I dodged the bullets that you fell under because you kept your career, you kept your degree, you kept on studying, you kept on gathering for yourself currency by the standards of this world. And then some dude looked at you on some, you make sense for me. And then guys, wait again. I'm trying to get to a point, I'm not talking about Gutwele, left and right, like and then like Allah no because and it's about batla because who clear right. Mara after the act, I'm seriously envied. And the seriousness of it is because I'm literally dying in front of people. And I can't help but walk up here and make it evident, clear, highlight that hakuna any of you that are safe. None of you are safe. I was on TikTok and I'm not just ranting hang amatota, but bottom line is they're the ones that God has given authority headship to run the show. And when they drop the ball, all of society falls apart. God the Abba Faz, they have a responsibility to play. You've got to do better. You need to be godly. More godly, uyavikelwa. More godly, uyafihlwa from wicked men. When you are godly, you basically dodge bullets that other people don't dodge. There's not enough of us dodging bullets. So we are all in some strange grain as black people, and the only people, about 5 or 10, that have protected themselves to the protecting power of Jesus Christ. Ha le sa re tlobara ka mona wa lona he bana bo cherry. Ha le sa re tumpa ka disregard. Ha le sa re tumpa ka tlhoriso ya gore ignore. Ha le sa re neglecta. Sa ruri hure ha boye batho. Ha le sa tswa go gona keng. Di cases tsa gona tsa GBV ha di sa ignore because rona re ha no lo re bana le bana ba tsirianeng. Ha re di keng. La ba thusa. You are helping wicked men to get to the last of us that are sober, the remnant, eselemfa, that did not capitulate to yonke le nonsense la emgaqweni. You are helping men keep us poor. Tlhopego ya ka nna ke le ka tlhaloganya akere e manufacturilwe ko mahodimong ke job la nkuntla. The Lord used it to protect me. What was intended for evil, the Lord used it for good, the saving of many lives. I am protected. Ke tshireleditswe, guys. Mara it looks as if though it looks as if though ngishiwe kodwa ku-impossible ukuthi ngishiwe mina ngoba God made it clear that he will never leave nor forsake us. He made it evident that no such thing will ever be a thing. So uma ufila ngathi uyekelwe or ushiwe or ulahliwe, it's not true. You gotta basically demolish arguments and every lofty pretension that exalts itself above the Most High, and hold into captivity every thought to the obedience of Jesus Christ. I'm being so distracted. A whole bunch of noise on the outside and a whole bunch of people walking around. So I'm gonna try and talk through it, okay? Nonetheless, and just talk through it. TikTok, nah guys, TikTok recommends. Oh goodness, like please, like give me a break. I need peace. TikTok recommends black content strangely to blacks. And I was just showered by it, offended by it, repulsed by it, because of stories that I could relate to. Like, you know that a person has been raised up by Mudimu when they are not happy that other people are able to relate with their sorrow. In the black community, abantu bazi Kenya ngendaba yokuthi akusiyimi njengiwani. Sonke sisutlekile, sonke sibhidlizekile, sonke siravazwe circumstance. Oh, ashe. And then you expect abanye abantu la emgaqweni on the outside of our race ukuthi basithembe futhi basithande singazithandi. Hard buddy. Like just the ability to relate. Kulama TikTok, I was like kaze singaki la emgaqweni. Singaki. And the thing that broke my heart was the fact that some white woman made a comment and said, I can't believe how many people are saying, Mina, this is my story too. Abanye abantu are looking at us ingathi siyiserekisi lankutla. Really Popeye, man. Really Popeye. And on top of that, really Popeye, it's a tshetsweng parafini. Ho shota fela gore metšhisi yo light wa rocha. Because we are going to hell in droves. Really Popeye batho ba bantsho ene akuna muntu o confused ngada thing. La emgaqweni bonke abantu bayazi ukuthi we are defeatist in the West way. Ke hada tse ke TikTok mara ke mo yang recommend ntho tse nna crash up I don't want to watch. You know, I actively, there was a time when I would actively avoid black culture. Like I would like South African culture in particular. Like ngebalega guys. Like as in flee from sexual immorality. Black community insanity is like sexual immorality to me. I just don't want to see it. It's so grieving. On YouTube, I actively avoid it. So YouTube has started recommending to me appropriately. It's like I'm living vicariously through other people because I cannot experience gladness as a black person in a black country with all this black defeatism. So I'm living vicariously through everyone else, not in my country, and everyone else, not in my skin tone. I'm living vicariously through white women. I'm living vicariously through Puerto Rican women, Argentinians, Italian. I am living Chinese. I am living vicariously through other women that don't experience the daunting feats that black girls have to just go through by mere virtue of being born in the skin tone. I am living vicariously through them. I long to just be loved and appreciated and respected and have me automatically protected by mere virtue of being a woman. I long to have the protections that white women have under their men and all other races, frankly. Yithi nje kuphela esihlapiwa sibhidliswa ngemithi ngamadoda ethu and abena any kind of disquiet concerning how they are breaking us. Angazi why kungena conscience in the black community. Angazi guys. Angazi ngoba sonke uSomandla usinikeza the same faculties. He gave us an ability to have a conscience. So us not exercising it as black people, I can't understand why black people don't hearken to their consciences. It's not like you don't have them. It's like it doesn't do anything to you. Indaba yokuthi sihlekisa kangaka abantu bayasihleka aninandaba halinandaba le ka ntlong ka ngwana lona le motho gala sotla ga 10 years ka ofela jwang alo ravas alo blomiso le banna ba tsirianeng ba tletseng ka korobela jwang ba itulitseng gore ha bana ba tlo ba le nna Karabo o tlo boda jwang. How can women listen to a woman suffer like this, a white chick that has the kind of internet, what do you call this, like presence as me, suffering to what I'm going through nyantela much, especially if nikamuhle. Shem, mengeke blame in that situation for too long. Mengeke. Kodwa thina siyayekelwa nje ukuthi sibole. Rebol, magoted and everything. Relo jiwa rona ke di hyena. Relo jiwa rona ke di the scavengers. Like people that are literally plundering us for scraps. Ingathi ha re batho kaofela ba felletseng ba need dignity, comp, respect. Asithandwa as black women kunzima. That's why there's always this eventual end result of angry black women in us. Mangathandwa as a woman, even though God said, men love your wives as Christ loved the church, uzogcina ukwatile nje uhlala ublowa isteam on a rooftop. Kodwa amadoda ethu, even though abathandi masirasa, they get us to a point of ukurasa kabuhlungu njena. Guys, how in the world are you going to be going through the same things over and over and over again? Halebathi thuso. Le ratile the ancestors talona kumara dili etsetse anything. Your ancestors have no regard for indaba yokuthi abafazi babantu abamnyama basutlekile, guys. Black women rasutlekile, and our ancestors, your ancestors, abenandaba. They are not even trying to eradicate the problem. If anything, they're worsening it. The whole epidemic of polygamy is on the rise. Oh God, we're not unseen. It's written in God's word that if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, repent, basically something along the lines of turn your lives back to God, I will heal your land. So the plight of women in the black community, guys, until such time that you wash your garments and you cry out to God from a pure heart, having truly given your lives over to Him, without mixing, oh God, now my ancestors and all different kinds of other nonsenses, you are not going to get heated. Boy, girl, you are not going to get heated. And my ancestors have displayed we keep on getting clobbered. Baby daddy culture is on the rise. I have no incentive to do differently. And you keep on praying to all these many gods, your polytheism. And when then things reach a height where it is that, like I said, celebre on our necks, you still don't want to turn to God. Instead, you insist to I saw I had to make you one was celebre mumulaleng. Tshwantse di ka ofela really 10. Scheme ka ofela fa di chair tsa go skutso ko high school. Ka ofela rena le 10 rongela nyoko. Or ha rongela at all. Ka ofela really 10 rongela nyoko. Black girls literally would much rather, all 10 of them, as a crew of friends from high school, they would much rather go fail, take in their stride. Do you understand? Because let's say ba company go fela ba di 10 ba sotlega, ba company ba go fela ba di 10 go be botlhoko, ba company go fela ba di 10 ba utlwiswe ba kenye ba ravaswe, and ba ka se go tlogela. They will not leave you alone if you are yet to fall apart under the same thing. We are dying as black women because black women refuse to stop the chain of insults, the spate of attack, the cycle of violence. It does not stop because we are ungodly. We are ungodly, and I've been saying it over and over again on TikTok. Now that I'm outside, like one or more and the fellow utoda from the floor up, hakakan, marahuluki. It's okay. Hanan TikTok falang. Mona Haibani is having a bad day. Okay. We won't stop the spate of violence, Tina, as black girls, because we feel what you might call this. We feel the need to proliferate nyoko ena, spreading like a gangrene to the next man and the next man. Harabato are the only ones suffering. Marana, my thing is, chickies, you hurt each other in your own crew of friends, but largely, your daughters, to suffer the same fate as you. But inevitably, they will. And you women who are happy to proliferate this nonsense against your friends, you might think now that your daughters, you don't want them to suffer as you suffered. But once your daughters become beautiful young women, you will be such a narcissistic mother that you will be prepared to either block your daughter's marriage or block your daughter's prosperity in a marriage, or you will literally stand with the guy all in wrong that your daughter was right to leave until Queen Dotagazi has now passed away at the hands of the very same guy that you said go back. Women become narcissistic mothers when they were narcissistic up-and-coming women. You might, when your daughter is still 17 or maybe 15 or maybe 12, be super protective and not want any stupid, ugly menace in these streets to molest your kid, accost her in the park, castigate her in school. You might indeed, as that young mother with a young daughter, be protective initially, but trust me, and I speak from experience, once your daughter becomes a beautiful young woman, once your daughter becomes basically the stuff of Miss South Africa, once one is running this foundation, you can see it's like literally oozing or emanating off my face as I speak, so I'll try and keep the camera stable that it might not be evident that I'm wearing fake makeup. Okay, once your daughter becomes a beautiful young woman and enough for a mom to essentially envy or covet the glory of her daughter, once every guy in the mall is now staring at your daughter as you buy groceries, etc., that's when a woman that did not deal with the issues concerning abusive men or gender-based violence or whatever, if she didn't deal with them when she was on the come up. That's when it starts to rear its ugly head in literal sabotage. Literal sabotage. Like, I bet you have heard of stories of moms who were prostitutes when they were on the come up, literally setting their daughters up to do prostitution in the future. But when this kid was 4, 5, she would have done everything to protect that girl from evil men. Like, I don't know if you know that song. Rockabye baby, rockabye, I'm gonna love you, rockabye baby. Yeah, women are like that. In the beginning stages, moya ona is going to be very, very loud. Okay, that song, yeah, rockabye baby, rockabye. I actually want to chill in one position because with this for camera, I can't like what do you call this? I can't move around too much because then this like filter just keeps falling apart. And I'm want to stay, but man want to stay, but I can tell like that the wind is probably like on my speaker. But anyway, whatever. Initially, when the kids are young, like, I had a very protective mom when I was in high school. Every time I'd come back home crying, she'd be like, "Ging, ging, ging, did somebody touch you? Did somebody touch you? Did somebody touch you?" And I was like, whoa, okay, you're taking it too far. I'm crying because my friends were mean. I'm crying because something else happened, basically, okay? Yeah, she was very protective when I was a kid. From men from men, basically, like whatever that men could do to a woman, my mom was protective. But then I became a beautiful young woman on the come up, and that's when she started to basically recommend that I get back together with a whack ex. That's when she started to be envious of the prospect of me getting married and whatnot. When you don't deal with them, your 4, 5-year-old, maybe even teenage daughter might enjoy a loving mom that is very protective, but somewhere along the way, that veil of wanting to protect your daughter flees, and it is replaced by a narcissism that then causes women to essentially set their daughters up for failure. If you don't deal with it, you are going to be a narcissistic mother. It happens like clockwork. So you initially will sing, "Rockabye, baby, rockabye, I'm gonna love you." She tells me, "Ooh, love, I'm gonna take care of you, love. No, 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 my love. No, 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 you." Initially, the mother will be like that. But if she doesn't deal with her issues, if she does not turn to God, she is going to start out saying, "I'm saying, ooh, love, I'm gonna take care of you, my baby girl." Only for her 24, 25-year-old daughter to now be thrown under the bus by the same mom that would have jumped in front of a moving truck to protect her baby girl from a wicked man. Same protections extracted from the ecosystem by the same mom that would have killed a man that even so much as looked at her daughter some kind of way. Now the same mother is shoving that daughter in that man's face. Today I'm enduring that kind of sorrow as a woman whose mom never dealt with her issues. And so now, horrible, like wicked, disgusting men literally think I'm up for grabs and I'm takeable and have never been loved. Even though there was a time when I was extremely protected by my family, by my own mom, who would have like literally chopped off the head of some funny weirdo that looked at me strangely. Yeah, the same woman is now being trusted, do you understand, to basically stand back and do nothing for her daughter. When I was maybe 16, 17, let's say 16, we used to live in Alberton, and I used to take taxis home, right? Where I would get off Goody taxiing, I would have to walk some distance to get home, and I would pass by this one fast food joint where they used to sell slap chips and what have you. Okay, there used to be this one dude that worked there at the slap chip joint, and this guy would get out of his work premises and follow me home. And no, I don't want to talk to you. No, I don't want to talk to you. And it got to a point where it was really scary because he would follow me almost all the way home, and so therefore know where I stay. And I kept saying, "Leave me alone, leave me alone," very audibly, sometimes even screaming at him, pushing him on the street. He wouldn't leave me alone. And one Friday, I go home and I finally tell my mom. Okay, because initially I didn't tell my mom. I thought I could deal with this myself. I finally tell my mom, guys, if I tell you, it was on Friday when I went to go tell my mom. On the Saturday, we were going to Eastgate to go shopping for groceries. The Saturday before we went to Eastgate, Riftiloko, that fast food restaurant where that guy works, and my mom threw a scene at that place where this guy worked, basically threatening that if you don't stop following my daughter around, you and your whole establishment is going to see flames. She went and spoke to his boss and was like, "If you don't get your son to leave my daughter alone, if you don't get your son to leave my child alone, if you're not your son, sorry, but if you don't get your employee to leave my teenage daughter alone, because she's just a child, for crying out loud, you haven't seen the last of me. Don't look at me looking like a woman. I'm gonna show you flames. Leave my child alone. She caused a scene to a point where the people dining at that restaurant were literally staring, and it was just like, whoa, that dude, I'm pretty sure he got a talking to by his boss. I'm pretty sure he also was very embarrassed for the rest of the day, but he never followed me again. He never followed me again. He never gave me a grief again. That kind of protection, when I turned 24, 25, it just fled out the window, because I just became too glorious, too beautiful, and I was now of marriable age. I was no longer a child. I didn't have any more baby fat cheeks. I didn't have pretty much what it is that causes women to not be too intimidated by girl children. Now I was scary to a woman that's a little bit older. Do you understand? And so for those reasons, she stopped protecting her child. She stopped protecting her kid. That is what happens when you don't deal, guys, with your narcissism. I'm sitting on 5% with battery power. When you don't deal with narcissism, that's what under heaven happens. You will literally leave your girl children out on a limb to get taken by just about anything. Bazothathwa nje izinsha la emgaqweni ezingena mayitsewo. There's respect even in the slightest for basic protocol. Yeah, and you will be shocked as a mom, you turning against your daughter like this, but you won't be able to control it, and your daughter will also be shocked at how much you are not protecting her when historically you used to do it so easily. Let me go charge the phone, and then come back and finish having this particular discussion. Yeah, basically what I'm getting at is that there is no safety in complacency. There is no safety in complacency. I hope to be able to use whatever daylight hours remain. There is no safety in complacency. Literally, absolutely none. Hello, not an ash. There is no safety in complacency. Women, do not say that you were not warned. Alright, just so you can understand, that has caused me to sort of kind of blow steam concerning what I saw on TikTok. It was just a whole bunch of TikToks, alright, of women not only lamenting against, where's my nose? Itchy. It was a whole bunch of women lamenting against infidelity, making jokes about it. Basically just the embracing or the acceptance of girlfriend culture amidst married men. That was like a whole thing. And there's like actually this one TikTok that's doing its rounds right now, where it is that it's the voice of some dude speaking to his girlfriend while his wife overhears, talking about how it is that it's you that I love, I only married for the children, blah blah, etc. And it's made like a whole big chunky joke. And I went into the comments section of one of these TikToks. There's a few of them doing their rounds, and the number of women in that comment section saying, mine said I was his sister, mine said I was his maid, mine said I was his cousin, mine said that we are roommates. Mine, basically, a married man telling his side piece girlfriend, don't leave me now that you have discovered that I'm married, because I'm not even all that serious with my wife. Yeah, like that. And the number of women that were in the comments section talking about how it is that my husband literally told his mistress or his side piece that I am a domestic worker in his life. That's what's going on over there. Were so many that one woman, you could tell with her profile picture that she was a white woman. Her comment was in that comment section, I can't believe how many women are able to share their side of the story concerning this thing, saying that mine was this, mine was that. Essentially, this white woman's comment was, how many of you out there are there like this, who have husbands literally pleading with side pieces after they get busted for extramarital affairs to stay with them, talking about how their wives are sisters, cousins, maids, etc., roommates. This woman was in shock. She was in disbelief as to how many of us black women have this to relate with. And my thing was, my point exactly, bullseye. Thank you. We are all like that. We get to a point where we have so embraced the indiscretion of men that we then comfort one another with the fact that we can relate. until other people look in from the outside, observe this indiscretion, and are shocked out of their minds at it, and then say, how many of you are there exactly going through the same nonsense? I hate that I can relate with black women on these issues. I hate that I can do nothing but relate with black women on these problems, because we should not have, we should not, there shouldn't be so many. Look, there are white women who go through nonsense at the hands of men. There are white women who go through nonsense at the hands of their men. Okay, it happens to everybody. Sorry. It happens to everybody. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the worst of us, right? Where it is that we're dealing with indiscretion at the hands of men. Fine, it happens. But the scale that it happens in the black community is frankly unacceptable. The scale is so voluminous that other people literally comment along the lines of, but how many of you exactly are there? White men cheat, Indian men cheat, everybody cheats. And they all come up with stupid, ugly excuses. But the scale of men, walk in this indiscretion, because, yeah, guys, it's too much. It is too much. There are literally too many of them. Too many. And the whole phenomenon of mothers becoming betrayers of their daughters is on the ramp up. It's on the increase, where your once protective mother is now going to throw you at the hands of wicked men. And I'm lamenting right now because I don't have sufficient protections under my female family members. Because the same people who were once upon a time happy to protect me from the same thing that is currently hitting me now are leaving me be because I'm a grown woman. I'm a grown woman. They will protect their teenage girls, maybe their toddler, preteen. But the moment you become a beautiful young woman, it's like something competitive rises up in them. It's a generational demon in black women. It's a generational curse. We throw each other to the dogs. The same batch of girlfriends that would have been happy to report the indiscretion of your boyfriend now are going to protect him. Now they're going to protect, they're going to hide his indiscretion at your expense. They will watch you walk down the aisle to a man that has cheated with one of them and not tell you until you are in it. And now it becomes a whole scandal. It's like they all want us to suffer the same things. They all want us to be like Janet Jackson and Why Did I Get Married? Out here contracting HIV from a man that you are married to. They want everybody to share the same pain. And this complacency then translates to the circus. Just the incredible circus that is the black community. It is a circus, and I'm tired of being in it. And how nan twenka yetsang holo escape this thing. So give forced to I am forced to keep talking sense into people's heads that I've been speaking sense into for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. It appears as if though I am destined or doomed to pass away. Got the same things. Amatota eno angeke bayenze into different until nina nizithoba likoko betsokophela Jesu. Repent that you might be protected from them. And you see, the thing about not feeding a beast, halesa fepe pohofolo ekima enze pulsator ehema inhaler exhaler untso busy when untso ifanama every 2 days. The thing about a pulsating beast is that it will thrive because you keep feeding it. But if you starve it, it might actually see something is wrong with the way I am. Because bana ba entitled, they have been getting fed inyama yamadodakazi babanye abantu. Bayasibulala nje kalula. Go easy for them to do a death spell on a woman because she said no. Akafuna ukujula naye so lo muntu lo uzombulala some kind of strange thing. Babatla ho lonka nna ke lenzalwane kaofela ke feletse khatana ke le consecrated, having been celibate for 13 years. Babatla go nketsa mistress nahan. How no? You can't say no because mamas, you will at some point for your 16-year-old daughter that you think you're protecting right now. When you ignore my case, when this daughter of yours turns 23, you are going to recommend that she stays with an ugly man, a bad man. I had a boyfriend that used to steal money from me in the past. My mom was busy calling him Makoti, and I was like, well, you're not there, my cousin. My mom was like, I like him. He's mkwanyana wam. That's the thing. They infiltrate the minds of our parents. They infiltrate the minds of our sisters. Like family ya go fela etla go jigela in favor of a guy o sa etseng sense. O kana o ngetse twebo wa nkutlwa. O ngetse ntja ka fela e feletseng ntse hobola mo jarateng ya hao. O tlo engala because no how o mo ratela eng ha o tsebe. Ha o tlhaloganya hore mo teng o ratelang monna o khutsetsang tšhelete wa utswa motho. He steals money from you and yet uma wakho uzomfavor. It's because basebenzisa imithi to mind control abantu bagini until when are you feeling that maybe you are the confused one here to want to walk away, and then you end up so crazy miserable. Emthatweni ungayenzi sense that when now you are divorcing wonke umuntu uyahleka cause angisho kumnandi mas divorce sonke kaofela ha re divorce go monate kaofela ha re tumpo re trapiwa re tlapiwa go monate kaofela ha re experience the same gender based violence kumnandi angisho abantu abamnyama nithanda manje bona amanye abantu it's like you all want to wear ama leapare di cement you want to be wearing cast kaofela le batla go apara lo limpa kaofela le batla di bandage kaofela tshwantse re lo admit hore rona go bara because that's the only time that you're going to be content with your fellow man being next to you content le batla kaofela re apara di bandage sonke we need to be in some kind of a medical condition, otherwise akuzoba right. Tshwantse skin kaofela sa banyana ba 10 ba ko high school kaofela re lo ba le ngolaza kaofela re be le positive test results tsa HIV re infectule ke banna ba rona. That's the only time that you will leave your girl to be. Go jwalo in the black community ke serekisi. White women can relate to the sorrow of the black girl. 1 or 2 or 10 of them, mara not literally the whole community. There might be 1 or 2 or 3 that can relate with our crazy stories, but not the whole community. Same thing is true for Indians and colors, etc. Thina kodwa indaba zethu ezinde ezibolile yezethu zonke kaofela rona we are suffering from the same thing kaofela, and that is something that black people are content with. Abo mama balahlela abantu indodakazi zabo under the bus. Abo baba they stand back kuyathakathwa amadoda athwele athatha abafazi that don't belong to them, and the ones who keep saying no like Abo Karabo, they are telling themselves ukuthi it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. Lamadoda don't heal unless you decide to do a better thing as a woman, unless nina as bafazi enhlangene nonke make a decision to stop feeding the beast. Akuzolunga, akuzona muntu ozophola. Gagona anybody that's going to be permanently discharged from lesibhedlela lesinithando kangaka enisithandayo. Sibhedlela sesiratang to keep on getting admitted into. Gagona motho o tlotswang ko sepetleleng sa teng a sa khutlele morago. Le rata rena re ntse re admitwa because of bana, and then siyotshelwa thina mase cartel ukuthi kwamele sibekezele. Re bekezela nyoko ebathong go gotlela is a beautiful godly principle insofar as your husband is godly. Manje indoda mangathanda usomandla izokuthakatha ekubambe puppet on a string bese izothakatha ngithi noma wakho to not support you or protect you when you are suffering. Azokubiza baby kanti umuntu okhona ukuvimbe ngemithi ukuthi uresponde in 10 in kind, calling him baby to baby kanjani ungithakathile baby kanjani uthakatha ubaba wami uthakatha ubhuti wami uthi angi ignore mangikhala baby kanjani uthakatha usister wami ukuthi angi ignore mangikhala baby kanjani. How are you going to call me baby when you have bewitched my whole family to ignore my cause? How are you going to call me your lover when you have literally betrayed the name of my family by making one of theirs a little zombie under your spells? Havana sense. And the only reason Baliso is because, like I said, you keep feeding the beast. The other one was of a woman, TikTok, ne? A woman who was telling us a story. So Mama Zala, atagata ginge mpaya khakh. Umoloile mpa hore a miscarry cause ona batla tšhelete ya ngwana wa moshimane mosadi ona ha this makoti miscarried the baby. She miscarried the baby, right? She was visited by a Mama Zala for a week. Afterwards she miscarried the baby. When she was in hospital, this Mama Zala visits this woman and says that this here miscarriage was a warning, sisters, a warning for you to leave my son alone, because ever since you came into my son's life angisena mali akafuna ukunginikeza imali ngoba kwamela ahambe through you, etc., something of that nature. This woman then goes and tells her husband hore mme wa hao o threatenile and mme wa hao o claima hore the reason ke miscarried is because she did witchcraft. She told her husband what her mother told her in hospital. The mom, he said my mom would never ever do anything like that. He said Umawam would never do, like, he did not take the side of the wife. That's just the thing. The Bible says a man must leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife, and the two become one flesh. That's what the Bible has to say. Do you understand what I'm saying? So monna jwanong ha sa khone go tswa mo mmeng wa teng and cleave to mosadi ha godly. And it's the thing e ke buang ka yona, basadi ha ba protectan mme wa teng why asa tlhokomela the needs of the daughter-in-law first and foremost. Why asa protected the needs of the daughter-in-law first and foremost, the mom? And why is the son not leaving to his wife that him and his wife might become one flesh? Why is that even a thing? Why is there so much ungodliness between men and women in families that akubona the need ukuvikela the dignity of a woman? Why tshwantse o lo tshepa mme wa hao o tsebang hore o greedy above umfazi wakhona? Awulali no ma. Top of that, you don't give ma abantwana. Uma ought to be grateful for grandchildren on the come up. Like, if at all, a mother, agafuni, ama grandchild ditlogolo, ha mme a sa batle ditlogolo, how bona go na ntho e leng very terribly severely wrong with that picture? When a mother does not want grandchildren from her son, don't you see there's something terribly wrong with that? But that's stuff that's happening across the black community. Moms are bewitching sons to basically be their husbands instead of women's husbands. They are sabotaging marriages. There's just all this random strange stuff going on. Hello? There's all this random strange stuff happening all over the show, and it literally does not make any sense at all. Who protectwa banna at the expense of women, and basadi are no longer valuing basic things like grandchildren. Like umama azobloga umchato wendodakazi yakhe. What? Like Mama Zala out here bewitching the pregnancy of her daughter-in-law. Like, stuff like that is happening in the black community, and it's all over TikTok. Out here, Musadi Unale music in the background, violins playing. You can tell that it's a sad story. When you listen to it, your heart aches. But my thing about that is, you have made your lives iserekisi, and then when you go in the comments section, so many people can relate. Stuff like that happens to Tinanje Pel, just us. We're the only ones in these streets that can relate at such a grand scale to so many circus tricks. Only ones. And here it is that you want to make me a statistic. A daughter-in-law that keeps on miscarrying because mama's you want to make me a woman that's going to contract HIV from her husband. Side piece, basically another statistic in the black community. You have all of the indiscretions that slap you coming, guys. Hale protectane. Banna balona batubile matakwane. Ba feel like entitled to ba side. Babata the side PC, bangetse, and you are letting it happen. Women pride themselves in the black community in being the side piece, in hurting abafazi abachadile, like proper akuna respect or inhlonipho for a family, a structure, inhliziyo yomfazi. I protect our heartbreak and is something that is just taken as another Tuesday. It is no wonder we're always called angry black women. So manje makunjalo mina ngizwenzani ngani kitoletsang le tawuwe hale batli modimo basadi ba batho ba bantsho banna ba lona ba thwele ba tshwere di mamlambo. They've got snakes in their houses in order to make money, and ka tšhelete ena ba feeling ka ba ka le dengela like puppets on a string, control you with you having no say because umuntu wakhona unemali. That's what's going on. Impilo zenu lezo, and you are content ngempilo ezinjalo. You are okay ka maphelo a botlhoko gakalo. Le grande ka maphelo a botlhoko gakalo. It is no wonder geleng tshibile nna ke tlhokafala because ke leshile onto a God that protected me from all that rubbish. From umamazala o sangelela mgaqweni o tlo nkelang payaka, protected me from a mother that does not want to take care of the needs of her own daughter. Protected me from men ba jekolang bankang basadi kankane. Protected me from ikorobela. Protected me from women that want all of us to get admitted ebara. He protected me from all of it, and I keep on saying, go to Jesus so that your jealousy won't consume you. Go to Christ so that you won't allow yourself to end up a narcissistic mother that can't even take care of the needs of your own daughter because she's now 25 and gorgeous. Go to Christ that you can protect yourselves from ending up HIV positive in a marriage to some dude or twele who contracted the virus, never mind even from a mistress, but from a sex ritual done for money. Go to God to basically become Abigail, staying David from committing abominations because Lamato Talawa have no incentive right now to do differently. No incentive. Right now, because and I keep on getting nightmares because they are literally leaning on Tabar. My family is not sufficiently supportive. Basadi are standing back doing nothing. Batuswa, banabana, who ukata, who rape, mostrating, baya siswa. And for as long as basiswa, return and repamura, Kentucky buang ill. Marahaling rata ker len Michael rat. Greshako fell away in this together. I don't like you anymore, black people. I am tired of you. But I have to keep on addressing you. Why? Because like TikTok, right? I keep on getting clumped with you in all of your indiscretion to a point where I can't even run away from all of your nastiness being recommended to me by TikTok, even though I'm not logged in. Because like I said, I am being beaten to a pulp by my own skin because I can't get out of it. Your indiscretions are horrendous. You are destroying yourselves, calamitizing yourselves, dropping like dominoes. Rabulawa on the daily. Maralis by stop by the carnage. You are happy to be strewn like cadavers all over these streets, insofar as you're not the only one. Alright, do you? But all I can say is, Christ is the only way out of your insanity. If you want him, take him. If you don't, by all means, do what you want to do. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. I'm signing out in Christ's name, Karabo. Bye.